start recording this then.
Okay.
It would be nice if people came on time, but I know people are busy, so we're just going to keep on and respect your time, okay? One of the things about when you're after and I just want to challenge you about this, okay, Nellie? When you have like a specific season, for example, I make more money in the beginning of the year in bigger chunks than throughout because my clients usually pay me for the year in advance, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So then I can look and say, all right, well, gosh, I got all that money then, and then now if I didn't meter it out properly or save enough or whatever it is, I can get to a month where like I could panic, right?
Yeah.
So when you have a kind of a seasonal kind of job or business, and you don't have a steady paycheck coming in every single, every 2 weeks or a month or something like that, what do you do? So what I've discovered is that it's even more important for me to stay in a place of picking that every little thing. Every little, somebody once said that they found a penny. Somebody who's doing this course, they found a penny on the sidewalk, and they took it to mean that God and the universe were wanting to show them the pathway to money.
Beautiful.
Okay? So we can start to prepare ourselves for like having less money because of it not being the typical season. But it doesn't have to be that way.
No.
It doesn't have to be that way. So this is the first year where I changed the pattern. So even though I had a bulk of money coming in like January and February, and I had some payments coming out through the rest of the year too as well. But I, like yesterday, and I said I was doing, and you're good about doing your numbers too, Nellie. It's important to do our numbers. So I said, you know what? I'd like an extra $3,000 for a specific reason. And a specific reason, our finances were fine this month, And so yesterday, I put it out there and I said, God, I'd like another $3,000 this month, And I had something in mind for it. The money needs purpose. And this morning there was a text message from somebody that I had done a call with, 2 months ago, who was ready to work with me. Now it wasn't 3,000, it was 1,500. So
halfway there.
We're halfway there.
Beautiful.
But wasn't that cool that you voice it? Now I try to keep myself clear of negativity and elevated in positivity, so it makes the flow of abundance easier to come to you.
Great.
Okay. So I just want to encourage you with that just because you have certain seasons doesn't mean it has to be that way. And that doesn't mean that there's not another idea out there for you for the coming month.
Right.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Sure. All right. Well, I don't know where everybody is, so I'm just going to get started. Oh, Carrie, I want to hear from you. What was it that I know that you were really busy with your surgery? But have you had any new awarenesses, shifts, any new money come in, any new opportunities? And it doesn't matter how big or small.
Yeah, I haven't been so focused on opportunities, I guess. Obviously. But I created a spreadsheet and I made it so I could just click on my daily reminders to add a little something every day.
Good.
So I've fallen off that this last week, but when I was doing it, I would fill it out and then it adds a column up. And but if I went there early in the morning, I didn't have anything. I just put something I was grateful for because when you're that if there's nothing to write about, just find something. It was just grateful for something, not monetizing.
Exactly.
And then so that just helps put a better spin on the day, getting started.
Definitely, definitely. I want to read to you just some of my entries here since the first of the month so you guys can get an idea. Hey, Nicole.
Hi.
Hi. You got a red screen up. Did you mean that?
Yeah.
You know what would be better then? Because it's kind of flashing red. And I feel like I'm like a bull ready to charge.
I'm sorry.
So if you put on there, if you got, see the stop video?
Let me see. Actually, I don't, but I'll.
Oh, it's not bad. Mm.
Yeah, I know you got your iPad, so. Okay, well, while she's working on that, some of the things that I have put down here is, okay, we had a check come in for Jean for work. And by the way, one of the things that we have noticed is that we didn't really expect that Jean was going to be able to earn money because number one, he couldn't drive, so any money that he did, he'd have to be sitting in his chair. And, but then we thought, well, why does it have to be that way? Why can't we be provided? Why can't he? And it's not even so much because we needed the money. It's that he needed to work. He needed to be occupied. He needed to feel like he was doing something and take his mind off all the things that were happening in his body all the time. Okay? So that was part of the reason. So let's see. So we had check come in for Jean's work. I had a client pay. I had a class money come in from a class. Somebody owed me $80. They paid me. I got a VIP day. A retirement check came in. Had a couple more people sign up for classes. Jean got a new case. Oh, here's one. My mirror broke on my car, and so I got free servicing, and I got to rent a little Miata. I always wanted to rent a Miata. I always wanted to have a Miata. After renting a Miata, I didn't even rent it. Actually, it was free. They gave it to me as a loaner. And after renting the Miata, after borrowing the Miata, I realized I don't want a Miata. So I was so anxious to get my own car back. My car is a lot quieter. It's a lot comfier. Even though this was a convertible and I had a lot of fun with it, it still was not as nice as my own car. So I was happy for that. Oh, I got a referral. Now, sometimes when we get referrals, we don't know how to monetize it or value it because it's not the client hasn't actually come about yet, But I write it down anyway because it's part of an open flow, And I express gratitude for that person. I pray for that person who's a referral, even though I haven't even talked to her yet, and expect that God will do whatever needs to be done with that. So maybe that referral is for me. Maybe that referral is for another reason, but I bless it. Jean got another check. Oh, then I got another referral. Then somebody helped me, gave me some free coaching, which was a great value to me for something that I needed. I got a $25 gift card out of the blue when I registered at the hotel. Wow. Got an invitation for a speaking engagement. Now I missed an opportunity here, but at the hotel, the bellman had a huge box of all kinds of hair color supplies. It must have been like thousands of dollars worth of stuff. And he offered them to Karen Strauss and I, like, do you want any of this? And I took one thing that was worth $65. It was just one in a whole box of stuff. And my daughter, who's the hairstylist, said, Mom, you could have put all those things on Craigslist because they're all good stuff and they're expensive. I didn't know, right? But I think it shows you, though, that there was an opportunity there. Now, maybe I didn't want to go ahead and do it and lug that thing around, but it does show you that abundance is everywhere, right?
Right.
Isn't that kind of cool?
Yeah.
I was asked for another invitation to speak. Somebody paid for my lunch. Somebody paid for my breakfast. I got a huge discount on parking. Oh, here's a good one. We have a monthly, we've been paying off on a debt for a long time, and we like all of a sudden, we had too much money in our account to pay for it. So it was a $5,600 benefit. That was pretty amazing. Out of the blue, somebody signed up for Melaleuca. Well, you know this too, Nellie, that you are a Melaleuca customer. I'm a Melaleuca customer, but I used to represent it as a business before. I don't anymore. But if I see somebody needs it, I'll recommend it. So somebody that happened this week, I signed them up. Gene Work, he got a check. Got invited into a lobster and filet mignon dinner. And this morning I got a new client. So those are just some of the things that have happened for me. Any comments?
Tracking abundance. That's the key.
It is.
Not just dollars, but,
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you guys can do that too, right? Right, Nicole?
Yes. Uh-huh.
All right. So let's get started with this. Share my screen with you guys. All right. Here we are. Okay. I wanted to do some sharing. I want to teach today. I want to talk to you about vibrations. We know a lot about vibrations, but I want to bring it in and let us focus in on it again. And then I want to talk to you about this thing called tapping. How many of you know about tapping?
Nellie does.
Nellie does. Okay. Nicole, do you know about tapping?
I've read a little bit.
Okay. And Carrie, how about you?
I think I have been.
Okay. Well, it's been around for a while, but we're going to do some tapping today. All right.
Okay.
Help clear away any negativity. All right. So let's talk about vibrations. Hang on a second. I got to move this thing. I think I got to do it this way. All right. We change our lives by changing our vibrations. I have to tell you that when I was a pretty rigid Christian, when anybody talked about vibrations or quantum physics or any of that new agey kind of things, I would shut right down. I'd put up like the curse sign and like, get away from me. I was so scared of this stuff. And I thought it was too, all right, I'll say it, demonic. All right.
Okay.
Since I have really been studying this more and seeing how it squares, vibrations, quantum physics squares with the Word of God. And I'm not going to go into that right now. There's a good book you need to read. Any of you need to read. If you have any questions about it, it's called Awaken the Sleeper Within. Carrie, you met Nick Castellano, Dr. Nick, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Nicole, you met Dr. Nick. He came to my event last year. He is a nuclear scientist. He's also a believer. And he wrote a book about quantum physics and the Bible and how you can create your life through your vibrations. And so that was a big blessing to me. I had already been studying that myself. I agreed with what he was saying, but it shored up my belief in the power of our vibrations. So that's what I want to focus in on today, okay?
Can you pronounce his or spell his last name?
Castellano, Castellano. Dr. Nick Castellano.
P like Paul.
Excuse me?
P like Paul. P like Peter. Or T like Tom.
You mean in Castellano? Or
It's a C like Charlie.
it's a C like Charlie.
Thank you.
Sure. Yep. All right. So the things we're going to talk about vibrations are these things. Your vibration is your single most important resource. We'll talk about that. Learning to raise your vibration is your most important skill. We'll talk about that. What's the difference between low-level vibrations and high-level vibrations? What keeps vibrations low and how do we shift them? And how do we shift into higher vibrations and live there? Sound good?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So your vibration is your single most important resource. Can anybody tell me why? Why do you think it is?
We attract at our own frequency.
That's right. We attract at our own frequency. So whatever vibrational frequency you're putting out there, and a lot of this is very subconscious, very subconscious. You don't even realize it, but I want to help you become more aware of what vibration frequency you're operating at any given moment, because then you can change whatever you want to change and attract whatever you want to attract. So your vibration, what we put out there is what we attract back. So learning to raise your vibration then becomes your most important skill. There is so much work that people go through trying to make things happen. And I'm not saying taking action isn't important. I'm not saying that all the people out there that have skills and strategies and tools and resources, ad nauseum to achieve your goals. But the number one thing that's in your control is learning how to raise your vibration. It's the most important thing. And when I fell into that meltdown before, the reason I went into that meltdown is because my vibration level, frequency, had gotten so low and I wasn't clearing it away. I was letting it accumulate. And so we just got more and more and more negativity. And then I didn't even have much energy to deal with it. So then I had to kind of do the upward spiral back again. It's going on a downhill, a downspin spiral. Now we had to change it to go to an upspin spiral. That's what we have to work on, okay? Now, what's the difference between low-level vibrations and high-level vibrations? I think this is pretty obvious, but let's focus in on this a little bit. And I want to do an exercise with you guys, okay? Are you all in a place to imagine? Can you all imagine?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is what I want you to imagine. I want you to imagine a stack of bills. They're due now or in the future, and you don't see enough money in your bank account, or you don't see enough contracts or other sources to pay it. I want you to imagine what that feels like, and probably you don't have to do too much to imagine it. It's more like the state we live in, right? But I want you to feel. How do you feel? And where do you feel it in your body? Okay, imagine a stack of bills and you don't see enough money to pay them. Or you can imagine something else that's more, that takes you down a different road. Maybe you have money now, but now you're imagining later on you don't. Maybe you're imagining that you have to work like a dog in order to make ends meet. Okay, who can tell me how they feel?
This is Nellie. My chest immediately was tight, and I was afraid of what the consequence might be. Imagine, I don't even know what the consequence is, but then I had to take a deep breath and calm myself and say, okay, you can handle it. You can make some money. You can, move things around.
Okay, so you were feeling tightness in your chest.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really good. It's so good to be able to identify it, all right? That is coming from a place, all of a sudden you can feel that low energy vibration, can't you, Nellie?
Mm-hmm.
Constriction. Okay, anybody else? Well, there's only 3 of you on here today, so we're gonna tap into all of you, okay? So Carrie, how about you?
Similar tightness in the chest and like just stomach. I can imagine stomach pain, but what I have now. But usually when things don't feel right, it's in my gut. And then my initial thought is, what can I pay now and what can I defer?
Your initial thought is what?
What can I do right now? What can I defer? And
Okay, so you kind of like juggle the bills around a little bit?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. So you go into, you first like, thank you, in the stomach, the gut, a lot of people feel that, and then you go into some kind of problem solving mode, right? Okay, cool. Nicole, how about you?
Well, that's kind of a sinking in the stomach feeling, and also the problem solving mode. It's like, okay, the sinking feeling, and it's just like a pause where I'm down a long hallway for a
Mm,
moment, and then to pick myself back right up, and it's like, okay, now the solution. I got to go right into the solution, start claiming something better than what I'm seeing.
yeah,
or I'll,
okay, very good. Well, and I think you all did that. You started to get uncomfortable with that feeling, so you went into a problem solving mode, right?
right,
So here's what I want to suggest to you. Trying to solve problems coming from a negative space is going to make you solving the problem harder, okay?
okay,
What I want to show you later on is through the clearing of the negative energy, then don't try to solve problems based when you are in a space of constriction. All right? Even when you try to then talk yourself into a positive space, it still doesn't work very well. All right?
okay,
And if you try to then quick get into I'm going to declare truth over myself, because I used to do this. That's what I used to do, and this is what I used to teach even, and I found a more effective way than that. You can't really go from that negative energy into problem solving without having some kind of intervening thing happen and abundance happen first. I want you guys to start thinking about solving your problems from a framework of true abundance and higher vibrational first. You will be much more creative. You will feel much more confident about the solution. All right?
okay.
Okay, so let's go now to, I want you to imagine this. All right, imagine you're about to go on a vacation. Your bills are all paid. There's plenty of money to do what you desire on your vacation. And you know there's plenty for you when you get back. Just play with that for a minute. Imagine that for a minute. Get into that. I'd like to know where you are. Not where you are, but where is your vacation going to be? Nellie, where's your vacation going to be?
My vacation's going to be in Hawaii because I love it there.
Okay, awesome. What are you going to do in Hawaii?
I'm going to enjoy the gardens on Kauai and go to the beach and just watch the water.
I see you with a sarong on, even though you probably don't wear sarongs.
Well, I do have one.
Do you? Okay.
I do, yeah. It's very comfortable.
And I saw it kind of blowing in that gentle, balmy breeze as you're standing at the edge of the water.
Just dipping my toes in. I don't need to go in, the water the whole way. Just enough wet.
So how does it feel? How do you feel?
I feel peaceful. I feel calm.
It's awesome. Isn't it interesting how just you can go from feeling one thing to another thing in a matter of minutes?
Yes.
Nicole, where do you want to go? Where's your vacation?
Well, mine was also in Hawaii.
Very cool. What are you doing?
Shopping, going to some of the islands, like the back islands that I haven't seen them, but except for on TV, where you got all this beautiful water and it's peaceful, tranquil. No there's a buses around, just greenery and just beauty, quiet, calmness.
How do you feel?
Relax, calm, peaceful, joyful.
It's lovely. I can imagine it. And you have the money to go shopping. You don't have to worry about it.
Right. Yes.
And when you get back, you got an abundance inside to take care of whatever problems or issues are awaiting you.
Yes.
Very cool. How about you, Carrie? Where's your vacation spot?
On a golf vacation to Cabo.
A golfing vacation to Cabo? Cool. I'm having a little trouble hearing you. Maybe you're kind of far from your microphone, but I don't want you to have to. Let me see if I can move it up a little bit as far as my sound goes. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I could be talking lower too because I'm just not
Yeah,
sure.
don't strain yourself.
You know, I was thinking about a golf vacation to Cabo. We don't have to work on any projects and just enjoy the oceanside golf course and scenery and be able to relax, enjoy the sun and beach.
How's it feel when you imagine it?
Well, definitely relaxing and just that I don't have any care in the world. Enjoying what's around me.
I love that. I don't have a care in the world. Yeah.
Me too.
You know, it's really interesting, but Jesus wants us to live that kind of life every day. That we don't have a care in the world. You know? He says, be anxious for nothing. Take no care for what you will eat, what you will drink. You know? And why? Because he wants to be that God to you that you can trust in for your everyday provision. And I'm not saying that, you know, when we imagine or we go on vacation, I think vacations are to help us to tap into at a deeper level that sense of trust, that sense of not having a care. So we know what that's like and have even the expectation that some of that we can bring back with us, right? Yeah. This has been huge for me in this whole journey, especially with my husband. You know, it's been that feeling I need to carry forward with me, all around with me, that feeling of I don't have a care in the world and that God has my cares for me. He's carrying my cares for me. I heard recently someone say that we're supposed to cast all our cares on him, not carry all our cares on us. Isn't that awesome?
Yes.
Okay, and I want to give you some practical ways to do that, but I think that's a goal, that it is possible to have that. And thank you for bringing that saying, not a care in the world, Carrie. You know, it is possible to aspire to that state of mind, to have that vibrational energy that we're putting out there. And then that's a feeling of love. That's a feeling of being well cared for, isn't it?
Yes.
That's what we want to go for, that feeling of love and being well cared for. Okay, cool. Thank you for doing that with me, guys. So what keeps our vibrations low? We'll go to the dirty little secrets, and then we'll raise them up again, okay? But these are the things to be aware of. And when you're experiencing these things, your vibrational levels are low. And when your vibrational levels are low, that is what you're attracting, okay? All right, here's the list. Overwhelm. Fear of the future. These are just, this is not even the complete list. This is a pretty partial list, but fear of the future. Fear of not being able to pay your bills, provide for your lifestyle, or fulfill your commitments. Shame about past mistakes. Shame about past mistakes and choices. There's a lot of shame that get in the way of our current abundance. Shame about past mistakes get in the way of current abundance. We once got a very large inheritance a number of years ago. And me, with all my financial knowledge, I invested it. I did what I thought were the right things. I gave a good deal of money away, et cetera, et cetera. But I had this fear that I was going to mess it up. I had this fear that I was going to blow through it, even if I didn't want to. That somehow, well, what's going to happen when it's all gone? I don't want it to be all gone. You know, it's just all these negative tapes inside of me. And eventually, we went through it all. Eventually, it took years, but we did. We went through it all. And I'm telling you, for the following years after that, the shame I carried around, you should know better. You should have known better, Marianne. If you hadn't spent it on that, you could have it on this. You wouldn't be in this pickle now if you hadn't made that choice. Did you have to give so much of it away? You know, that's part of it. Then there's past mistakes that you make and choices you make related to relationships. There's all kinds of shame we carry around because we feel bad about choices that we've made. That, even if we're not thinking about it every day, unless you take care of it, and the only way to take care of it is to forgive yourself. To forgive yourself, to trust God to redeem your mistakes. Trust God to redeem your mistakes, to restore whatever money was lost or whatever needs to be fixed. He fixes mistakes. He fixes bad choices. So no matter what bad choices you make, you have a God that is willing to turn that around for you when you seek him to do that. Okay? Great remedy. Regret is part of the same thing. Regret is low vibration. Feeling powerless to change a situation. We were with people recently, and it's the whole thing was, well, you know, it's how the economy is. Well, you know, that's how people think. Well, you know, I'm just kind of like considered old in people's eyes, so that's not going to happen for me. I mean, right? You hear this all around you sometimes? Powerless to change a situation. All right? We're never powerless to change a situation. Criticizing or judging others, especially with regards to money, especially with regards to blessings. I was recently talking to somebody who, there is somebody we know, I won't mention any names, but who lives by abundance and blessings. Abundance and blessings just come to her. She expects abundance and blessings. She visualizes abundance and blessings. Abundance and blessings come to her. And there's somebody that I know who knows this person and says, I just hate that. I want to just punch her. She's always talking about abundance and blessings. And damn it, she gets it too. I think that's sick. That bothers me.
Wow.
Well, she doesn't feel that way today, but that's when we started talking about this conversation, you know, and I've said this before and I'll say it again. You can't have what you hate. Can't have what you hate. So if you're going to criticize and judge others for who they are, for what they do, for the choices they make, you're just boomeranging, guys. You're boomeranging. You're just bringing it back upon yourself. Okay? So accepting and loving others where they are, blessing them. If they get abundant blessings, think, good for you. There's more for me too. Right?
Right.
You never have to feel lack or less than by watching others. We can just say, oh, if it happened to them, why wouldn't it happen to me? Right? Feeling unworthy or undeserving. If you feel unworthy and undeserving for riches, for abundance, okay? Now, sometimes that disguises itself. You know, unworthiness disguises itself. Who wants to work with me? You know, or even this isn't the right time of year, people don't want to work with me. Or I used to have a terrible problem of feeling like I didn't belong. You know, that no matter where I go, I don't fit in. No matter where I go, I don't belong. I had to really work on that mindset and appropriate the favor of God, because with the favor of God, I belong everywhere. And so do you guys. God makes a way when you have favor, and we all have favor. So when you appropriate favor, you can go into any situation at all and know that you are covered in the favor of God, and there's going to be a favorable outcome for you. So now you can just concentrate on enjoying yourself there. You don't have to worry about whether you belong or you don't belong. You know, pretty cool. Not trusting God, yourself, or others. Trust is huge. Nicole and I had our meeting today, and I was saying to her, this is so important. Trust is an asset. Did you know that?
Yes.
It's a tangible asset. Trust is an asset. When you trust God, abundance flows. It's better than the stocks. You know, it's better than your business, though your business can be a vehicle, stocks can be a vehicle. There's all kinds of vehicles, but trusting God is an asset that produces abundance. That's a tweetable. All right. Contributing out of obligation, fear, or guilt. Anybody ever have that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
You're doing things for other people because you feel like you should?
Yes.
I had an opportunity that come up. I got a speaking engagement that is not a paid speaking engagement. I'm not even sure if this lady's crowd of guests are my crowd. I'm not sure if there's any money in it for me at all. It could end up costing me money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in order for, but I felt this tug in my heart. I felt this desire to go and help her, to just provide value for her people. So I'm like, okay, God, is this you? You know, seek God. Is this something you want me to do? Is this an assignment? All right. If it's an assignment, then I don't have to worry about God replenishing the money I'm going to spend, and it doesn't even have to come from this group. It could come from a totally different place, couldn't it?
Yes.
Okay? I don't have to worry about that. All I have to listen to is the voice of God. Am I doing this out of love rather than fear? Like, oh, what if I miss this opportunity? Or, well, I really should help her. You know, think of all the reasons why we do things that have nothing to do with love.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Those are low energy, low vibration. And then focusing on what you don't want, what you don't want, what you don't want, what you don't want, rather than what you do want. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Any of these stand out to you more? What you guys share? Any of this stand out to you more than one other thing? Like, is there something on this list that you most resonate with?
Well, for me, one of the things is kind of like fear of the future. You don't know really what's going to happen, how things are going to work out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at, of course, taking off my job and eventually retiring from that job soon, but I'm not at that retirement age, nor do I have the years
Mm-hmm.
at a full compensation for retirement. So it's like not really knowing what's going to happen. And two things, like on one level, I'm confident that things are okay. On the other level, there's that unknown and the fear, or what if something doesn't happen, and I'm the one who takes care of everything, and what if something doesn't work out. So it's like juggling between being confident that God is taking care of everything, and just truthfully not really knowing, because our country is, everything is different right now. in the world and just not really knowing.
So you can then do a whole ping pong thing, can't you?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. And so how do you think that affects your vibrational energy?
Well, it's jerky, doesn't create a nice, smooth, high vibration, or it's unpredictable.
Yeah, it can dilute too your confidence and your the positive energy and moving forward, can it?
Yes.
I think that's the main thing too, is it dilutes it when you're doing the ping pong thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so how do you stay? We got to help you to stay in that positive, dominant positive. It's not like we never have these feelings and never have these thoughts, but we have to look at what's dominant. How do we get into the dominant state of mind, the dominant high frequency level, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so good. That's good. Thank you. Carrie, which of these do you resonate most with?
Probably the second to last one. Maybe contributing out of obligation. I just need to that's definitely when I feel more in my gut that I shouldn't be working on something if it's not really for me or because I want to do it.
Okay, and so what kind of feeling does it bring you, do you think? When you find yourself, you've gotten into a commitment that you got into by guilt or obligation, or you're afraid of what they're going to think of you if you don't do it, what kind of energy do you carry forward in that?
It's definitely low energy, and it makes you're not motivated to work on the project or even to spend time with it.
It's like moving forward with a club foot. You're kind of dragging it behind you, aren't you?
Pretty much.
I mean, I know you're getting the job done because you made the commitment,
Yeah.
but you're not kind of flying in it. You're kind of like dragging. There's a little bit of dread, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think dread is probably one of the things that happens for me when I do that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. How about you, Nellie?
I used to agree to do things out of guilt or obligation, but lately I try to weigh, okay, is this something I really want to do? Is it something that is there a benefit here to everybody involved?
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to like it? Am I not? And so I try not to do things that I'm going to be sorry for. So,
That's good. Very good. Yeah. So you've been working on this one.
uh-huh.
Yeah, that's very cool. Okay, let's just talk a little bit about more high vibrational frequencies. All of these, as it turns out, love is the highest of all frequencies. And isn't that cool? Because we are built to love. God is love. Love is the most essential of all emotions and energy and frequencies that we could possibly go for. I know that when I was in that state of the meltdown and I woke up with that 4 a.m. wake up call, God saying to me, get back to love. He was giving me the strategy to get out of that emotional state of despair, of frustration and anger. And this getting to the state of love was the best thing that I could have done for myself. Okay? So let's not underestimate at all the power of love in our businesses. The power of love in our businesses is what's going to make our businesses the happiest kind of business we could have, the most successful kind of business we could have. Love and money are not at odds with each other. Love is the avenue through which money flows. Money loves me. Money loves me. Money loves me. All right, everybody say it with me. Money loves
Money loves me.
Money
Money
loves
loves
me.
me.
Yeah. Okay. That's why I know God gave that to me. Money loves me. Why? Because he wants us to have an up-leveled relationship, a higher frequency relationship with money. So that when we don't think about money, we don't go, oh. Well, when we think about money, we go, oh, big difference, right? Okay, gratitude and abundance are the same frequency levels, by the way. Gratitude and abundance. So if you are truly grateful, you're not just writing down something and checking it off, but you're truly in the energy and the emotion of gratitude, you know, abundance is right there. That is open abundance. I did a talk. Nicole was there at Mastermind. I went from a really low vibration to a really high vibration in a matter of like 30 minutes. I gave a talk, you know, about the abundance tracker and what was leading up to it. And I was practicing, trying to get all this done in 10 minutes. It was a 10-minute talk. So I spent some time on it, trying to keep it down to that level, and I practiced it. When I got up to give the talk, something happened that completely blindsided me. I started sobbing like a baby. I must have gone through 4 or 5 tissues full of snot. I mean, it was mortifying. All right? Let me just put it out there. I was mortified. And I couldn't stop. I couldn't, like, it's not like I was, I couldn't talk, you know? I mean, I kind of busted through and kept on going. And then something else I said struck me and I started crying about that, you know? And it just was like, talk, cry, talk, cry, talk, cry throughout the whole thing. I went back to my seat and I just was feeling like, oh my God, Marianne, get a grip. What is wrong with you? You know? And I was beating myself up for a good, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. That's shame and humiliation that nobody in that room did but me. I did that to me, right?
Right.
Well, all of a sudden it struck me, hang on. Why are you hating on yourself? But that's what you're doing when you beat up yourself, when you say this can't happen or that can happen or this was wrong or that's wrong. You're hating on yourself. Why not love on yourself, right? We got to love on ourselves. And then I started thinking about, okay, I don't know what anybody thought about this because the reaction in the audience was way different than I'm used to. And I could not gauge what anybody was thinking, all right? But before anybody else said anything, I had to love on myself. I had to give myself a break. I had to be pleased with what I did. I had to honor me. I had to accept what I did. I had to forgive myself for things that I felt like I did wrong. And I had to do all that sitting there in my own little seat in a matter of minutes, right?
We love you, Marianne.
There you go. You know, so I was really down one road, low vibrational, and I had to get back to another road, high vibrational. And we can do that. Isn't that great to know we can do that in a matter of minutes, right? Mm-hmm. And then people came up to me. Now, before that, somebody said something to me when I'm still in that place of hating. When you're in that place of shame, you're in that place of regret, guilt, and whatever it is, you don't receive blessings very well. You know, you'll say things, you'll reject it. Oh gosh, I made a mess of it. Oh, well, thank you, but you know, you have some kind of condition that makes you put the resistance and the barrier up. But once you get humble and you love on yourself, now you become this vortex for love to find you, for blessings to come to you, you know? And that's what happened afterwards. So now I don't feel bad about it all, but I had to get to that place before. Otherwise, I would have rejected everybody's compliments, everybody's comments. That's what we do. We reject. So we don't want to reject money, right? All of these things. Money is just one piece of abundance. Opening ourselves up to all abundance. Why do we have this, I'll be abundant with everything but money? You can tell the difference. So stay abundant, generally speaking, but don't exclude money in the equation. Okay? So is there anything here about high vibrational that you have a question about, or that you is there a word on this that you like more than another? Natalie?
I like all of the words, but I think love and gratitude speak to me more. Abundance, specificity. Money needs a purpose.
Yes, money needs a purpose.
Give it a job, but let it fill it.
Yes, I love that. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, love that. Nicole, how about you?
I would say freedom, and abundance, joy.
Even saying the word sometimes makes you feel better, doesn't it?
Yes.
I am free.
Mm.
I am abundant. Abundance is everywhere. Yep. How about you, Carrie?
Yeah, I agree with most of them, but definitely love, gratitude, and abundance.
Mm-hmm.
Ones I think about mostly.
We all need love. That's awesome. Okay, guys, thank you. All right. So how do we shift out of low vibration? All right. This is just a roadmap here. And I would do it pretty much in this order. All right. The first thing is to acknowledge it. Before you go off and quickly try to change it or say, oh, I shouldn't feel that way, or or pretend it, we're afraid of our negative feelings a lot of times. And so we don't acknowledge them. Now, there are some people, that's all they talk about, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about just constantly venting and constantly talking about negative things that are going on in your life. All right. This is about acknowledging them. Say, I do feel this way. I own that. I am scared about the future. I am afraid that at the end of the month, I'm not going to have the bills to pay. I don't know what to do about this. Be honest and acknowledge them. And I even write them down in my journal. I take them to God. I say, Lord, I'm bothered about this. I'm worried about that. This is on my mind. And I don't know about you guys. Do you ever wake up a feeling sometimes like you feel like in the nighttime you've either done some battles or there's some negativity that clings on you in the morning? Yeah? Okay. That happens to me. And it used to be so bad that I couldn't sleep and I'd have to get up in the middle of the night and I'd have to do some declaring and take back the night and all those kinds of things, But now there's something, it's more like just this kind of like feeling, right? So before I do anything, I have to journal, what's going on? What am I feeling? What am I feeling, Lord? And I even write it all down, all right? Now, if I don't have any of that going on, then I just kind of get on with my day. I say gratitude. I thank God for this. I get myself together. I make my plan for the day and I move on. But if I've got that negative low vibration, I do not want that clinging to me and I don't want it to continue filtrating the rest of my day. All right, so I journal about it. Then I tap and clear, and I'm going to go over tapping with you in a minute. We're going to do a tapping exercise together. All right, I tap and clear. Tapping is just touching acupressure points in your body to help you get rid of negativity. All right, it's very effective. I've done it on and off for years, but I've needed it a lot during this past year. Okay, then you tap and declare the positive. So there's 2 rounds of tapping that you do. One is to acknowledge the negative, and the other is to declare the positive. And it makes a difference in your body. And then giving gratitude. Sometimes giving gratitude right away sugarcoats things. Doesn't really get to an underlying negativity. Okay? All right, so how do we shift to the higher vibrations and live there? Well, first of all, we've been talking about you got to get back into love. So if you're in a negative space, do that tapping that we're going to talk about in a minute, but then get back into love. recount goodness. That's what tracking does. It helps you to keep the goodness in front of your mind. Tapping the truth. That's the second part of the tapping. Now, seeking God for strategy, goals, and intentions. So yesterday, as I was doing the finances and, what other bills do I have to pay this month? What do I know is coming in? What's already in the bank accounts? How are we looking? Is there any extra for the end of the month to our savings? Have I done a good job with my savings, etc.? I still wanted $3,000 more. Okay? Set goal. Now, I didn't just come up with that number. I actually sought God. So I get specific in my desires and I put it out there, and then I develop trust. I have trust that somehow, some way, I don't know how it's going to come in. I never know how it's going to come in. I didn't know I'd get a phone call this morning or a text message this morning. You never know. You don't know. So be open to all the possible ways it can happen. Okay? Speak positive words. God created the world with words. Our words are very powerful. We create with our words. Words have vibrational energy. It goes out. All right? Track your abundance every day. Please track your abundance. Please. I'm begging you. Please. All right? And take action when you're inspired. Take action when you feel abundant. All right? That is how, when I thought I started tracking in January, but actually I went back and looked, and it was in the middle of December. And when I started tracking and I was realizing, oh my gosh, this is so cool. We got money coming in from all different sources, and wow, I didn't expect it from there. Oh, look at this here, and all that kind of stuff. What it did for me was it opened up a creativity, like, I'm going to try producing income this way. And it was just an idea that came from me. And in a playful, abundant frame of mind, I tried it and it worked. So yay, rather than, I hope it works. What if nobody signs up? Nobody wants this. Well, I just suck. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, now, this is just a little visual here. There's your desire inside your heart. And a lot of times we have fog of fear. It's kind of like all the guilt, doubt, shame, fears, worry, everything is swirling around. And we're looking out at the world with our desire. And how well do we see it if we have this fog of fear around us, right? It's distorted. Everything becomes distorted. So that's why I want to do tapping. Tapping is what clears the fog. All right? It clears the fog. Okay, so I'm not going to go into tons of scientific. If you want to find out more scientifically of how tapping works, go ahead and do it. But we're going to tap together. All right? And it always starts off. Nellie, have you tapped in a while, or is this something you want to start back up again?
I tap all the time.
Oh.
Awesome. Tell me, and tell everybody else, how does tapping help you?
Tapping helps to calm me. And while we have all the meridians, I have found that if I just tap my hands together, my thumbs and my fingers together, that's hitting all the meridians also. So I can do it in my car. I don't have to go through the chopping block and all around my head. But it helps me to clear the anxiety, clear the negative, and turn it around. I love it.
So Nellie is experienced enough with tapping that she doesn't even have to go through the whole series of it, but I'm going to teach you the whole series of it anyway, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
And then you can adapt it. It's really interesting. There are some pictures online of football players, and you can see them tapping, and they're doing it discreetly. They're doing kind of like, right? Like, so I'm gonna go back to stop sharing the screen for a minute, and I just want to, okay. So I want you to follow me, and the setup is this. The first thing we want to do, well, let me just explain one other thing. You have meridians in your body, but let me say you just have acupressure points in your body that when you tap on certain points in your body, it sends a signal to the amygdala in your brain. All right. Let me see if I can get us 4 on here better. Gallery view. Okay, gotcha. This is how I want it. Yeah, so there are certain points in your body that are connected through your nerves to certain parts of your brain. This is so simple, honestly. And what you're doing is when you get into a fear pattern or you feel negative energy, it's like becomes an interrupter. All right? It's an interrupter. And you're setting it up to tell your subconscious, tell your brain that, and there's a certain part we set it up with. This is called the karate chop. Okay? So if just do this part with me, and it's along here, and we're just going to, there's a point here. This is the first point, and we're just setting it up by saying something like, even though I have these fears, I completely and deeply love, forgive, and honor myself. All right? Now, there's many things you could say, even though whatever the fear is, whatever the concern and the worry is, and then it's something positive. And what you're telling yourself is this: I'm not going to judge myself with this fear. I'm not going to judge myself, and I'm not going to consider myself bad because I think these thoughts. A lot of times we won't admit some of the thoughts we think because we think we can't think negative thoughts, or there's something wrong with me if I think negative thoughts, or somebody will judge me if I think negative thoughts. There's all kinds of ways we bury it. So what you're setting up is to your brain and your body that even though I have this fear, I completely and deeply love and accept myself. All right? So we'll go through that. Then once we do that setup, the next point, and some people do it here first, but I start here. This is a point up here. And I'm just going to go through the points, and then we'll talk about what you do with each of them. This is a point. Above your eyebrow is a point. Okay? Your temple is a point. Under your eye is a point. Under your nose, your chin, your collarbone, and there's a spot under here, under your arm, which is kind of weird, but yeah. Okay? So everybody just do that with me for now. Top of your head, tap. Above your eyebrow. Temple. Under your eye. Under your nose. Chin. Collarbone. And then under your arm. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to go through negativity first. Okay? And what that is providing a safe place for you to express negativity. Then we're going to go through and do positive. All right? So you'll end up feeling clear. You end up feeling positive. All right? First thing I want to do, though, is I want to ask each of you to think about this for a minute. When you think about money, wherever your Achilles heel is, when it comes to any kinds of doubts or worries about money, where do you go? Where do you go, Carrie? You're muted.
As in feeling? What do you mean? Where do I go?
Yeah, what are some of your thoughts that create anxiety for you?
I guess if there's more bills than what's in the bank account.
Okay, so like what if I can't pay the bills? Or how am I going to pay the bills this month?
Yeah, or and just having enough to like do the things you want or to help family or.
So you could say something, I'd really like to help so-and-so, but I don't know if I'll have enough money to do that.
Yeah.
Or I'd really like to go or do this or have this.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that create anxiety for you?
I mean, typically I just, it might for a little bit, but I typically just go to just writing about it or, making plans to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um,
Okay. Well, that's good that you have a solution. That you do something. All right. But if you could just get like really clear and not even, I mean, there it's just, then you just flow. Okay. So that's good. How about you, Nicole?
I kind of go to a little lonely spot, feeling very alone and isolated.
Mm. That's good. And nobody to help me?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Feeling all alone. You're on your own. That's a hard feeling. I know that one well. How about you, Nellie?
Well, times are a lot different for me now because I am all alone and on my own, but I'm not all alone. I have friends and people that I can go to in times of need, but I'm realizing that, I've been here before. I did it before, and I can do it again, and I don't need to go down to the very bottom of the deep end of the pool in order to come back up.
Good. Very good. But let's work on some things to clear then. Is there anything that you'd like to clear? Any energy or thoughts that you would like to clear?
Yes, I would like to clear that people don't need me.
Okay.
They can do it themselves,
Okay.
but
Good.
they can't.
Good. Okay. And that's really a fear and a belief that needs to be shifted, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And really what you're saying is that you don't feel valuable.
And I have undeclared value that they don't even know that I am important to them.
Okay.
That they need me.
All right. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. Well, let's just go through some negative clearing, and then we're going to go through some positive. All right. And you can, this whole process can take you like 3 minutes in the morning. That's it. Just 3 minutes. And if Carrie, money is not really what you're feeling stressed about, is there something else right now? I can't hear you. You're muted again.
Oh.
Good.
Just feeling healthy again and getting back to my normal schedule.
Feeling what?
Healthy and not sick.
Okay. So is there any negative thoughts that you have that you would like cleared?
I don't know if it's just too much pain, then I focus on I might think it's never going to end, or I just change it around and say it'll get better. That helps.
Okay. Yeah, it's good. There's always a positive answer for everything. All right. But before we get to the positive, we want to acknowledge what the little voices may be saying to us. All right. Because then the positive voice will be much more effective and have more room to expand. Okay. All right. So everybody just click, do the karate chop with me and say, and just repeat after me. Even though I have these fears,
Even though I have these fears,
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Even though I wonder if anything's going to change,
even though I wonder if anything is going to change,
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Even though I'm worried about the future and I don't know if I'm actually going to make it, I deeply and completely love and forgive myself.
Even though I worry about the future and I don't know if I'm going to make it, I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Okay. And you can do that a number of times, but let's move into the negative here. Okay. I'm scared about the future.
I'm scared about the future.
Now, one thing I have to also say, if I say something that you don't quite resonate with, it's okay. It's okay. Because there's probably a little voice in there someplace that, oh, these are common to everybody, right? Just go with it. Don't reject it. And just allow whatever needs to be clear. So even though I'm afraid about the future.
I'm afraid about the future.
I don't know if I've got enough money for the bills.
I don't know if I've got enough money for these bills.
I don't know if people really need my services.
I don't know if people really need my services.
I'm afraid they don't.
I'm afraid they don't.
I'm afraid I'm less than others.
I'm afraid I'm less than others.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to go through so much work to earn a few bucks.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to go through so much work to earn a few bucks.
I'm just tired.
I'm just tired.
I'm scared.
I'm scared.
I want it to be easier.
I want it to be easier.
I just wish people would just fall into my lap.
I just wish people would fall into my lap.
And that marketing wouldn't be so hard.
And that marketing wouldn't be so hard.
And that disciplining myself to make money wouldn't be so hard.
And that disciplining myself to make money wouldn't be so hard.
It's so hard.
So hard.
Money's so hard to come by.
Money's so hard to come by.
You got to work too hard.
We got to work too hard.
There's so much to do.
There's so much to do.
Don't have enough time in the day.
There's not enough time in the day.
So many responsibilities.
So many responsibilities.
I get overwhelmed.
I get overwhelmed.
I just don't know what to do.
I just don't know what to do.
I get confused and paralyzed.
Confused and paralyzed.
I don't like this.
I don't like this.
All right. Is there anything I'm missing as far as a fear goes? You can keep on going with this as long as you still feel negativity, you know? Honestly, okay? Everybody just breathe. Yeah. Does it feel at all like anything is dissipated yet and that you need? Because sometimes you don't want to move into the positive. If you're feeling it in your gut, you're feeling it in your shoulders and in your chest. Constriction, after doing this, you should feel less. You should feel some relief in your stomach. You should feel some relief in your shoulders and in your chest. Okay? Does anybody feel any relief? If not, I want to keep going with it. I want to keep doing the negative.
I feel some relief.
Do you? Okay. Now, Nellie, you were so right on that. I'm not sure that we were touching the points for you.
That's okay. It feels good.
It feels okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's solidify the truth. Let's solidify the positive. Okay. So we'll start back at the top again. Even though I'm scared, God is abundant.
God is abundant.
God loves me.
God loves me.
He's got my back.
He's got my back.
All abundance is waiting for me.
All abundance is waiting for me.
I am worthy of abundance.
I am worthy of abundance.
I am worthy of having my dreams come true.
I'm worthy of having my dreams come true.
I am so generous and I love to give.
I'm so generous and I love to give.
I love the work that I do.
I love the work that I do.
And I'm worth the compensation.
I'm worth the compensation.
God has got a plan for me.
God has a plan for me.
He has a purpose for me.
He has a purpose for me.
And my gifts monetize my purpose.
My gifts monetize my purpose.
I'm not afraid to make money.
I'm not afraid to make money.
I'm not afraid to make lots of money.
I'm not afraid to make lots of money. Lots of money.
Making lots of money is awesome.
Making lots of money is awesome.
Abundance is all around me.
Abundance is all around me.
It's dripping from the trees.
It's dripping from the trees.
It's on the sidewalk when I walk.
It's on the sidewalk when I walk.
It's in pockets of old pocketbooks.
It's in pockets of old pocketbooks.
It is in, people want to give me dinners.
People want to give me dinners.
And bring food over to me.
And bring food over to me.
And do kind things for me.
And do kind things for me.
I have so much favor.
I have so much favor.
People love me.
People love me.
And they love to bless me.
And they love to bless me.
And all the channels are open for me.
And all the channels are open for me.
I am an open container to receive abundance.
I am an open container to receive abundance.
Everybody breathe. Doesn't it feel good?
Oh, wonderful. Feels good.
Yep.
Oh, wonderful.
And the part about the tapping is that you're connecting those words with your brain. You're connecting. So it's not just speaking them out. Saying affirmations is good, but when you're saying them and you're tapping, you're connecting the words with you physiologically in your cells.
Now, do you do both hands or just one hand?
I just do one hand. Some people do both hands.
Okay.
All right. There's really not a wrong way to do this. There's not like you got to have the right thing to say. It's best if you just speak from your heart.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we'll do more of that. But when you do this, after you get clear, I don't like to try to solve a problem. I don't like to come up with a strategy for something. Like if I got to do a talk, I want to clear myself before I do the talk. You know, I want to get out any bits of fear or insecurity that I have. Then I go into the positive. Then I'm more equipped to do my talks. So that's what I'm saying. If you got something and you're going to go straight to problem solving on negative energy, then you're carrying that negative energy into your problem solving, and you're just making it harder for yourself.
Oh,
But when you clear away through the tapping and you get centered again, then you go to problem solve. Your problem is going to be solved much, much faster. Much, much easier.
Great.
Okay? All right. One more thing I want to share with you guys before we're done for today. Thank you for being such a good audience and good students. Share screen. Here we go again. All right. Okay, so all right, this is your assignment for the week. If you haven't been tracking, get back to tracking. All right? And I want to hear what you guys have come up with. It doesn't matter. Just share it. Practice tapping. All right? I would like you to tap at least 3 times this week.
Okay.
And I want you to make note too, and this is something that, you know, I don't always do, but give your anxiety or your constriction a number on a scale of 1 to 10. You know, 10 is like, I am freaked out of my mind. You know, 1 is like, mahalo, baby, right? Somewhere, what number are you as far as feeling anxious? And it doesn't have to be about money. That's what we're talking about now. But if, you know, Carrie, you're in a different situation right now, maybe you're not concerned about money. Maybe it's other things. All right? So acknowledge what it is and then do the tapping. And I think I'll try to have another tapping session in the Facebook group live so you guys can watch it again. Or you can just go back to this video. If you can know your numbers, you know, when I said yesterday, I want another $3,000 coming in this month, that's going to be just extra surplus. I know what I want to do with it, but I wouldn't know that number unless I knew my numbers. All right? Women are notorious for not knowing their numbers. Of course, my husband's a guy and he hasn't a clue. So, just saying. Okay? And then write down your desire for the week. You know, make it a monetary. I would like to have one new conversation with somebody. I would like a referral. I would like another $1,000. I would like, you know, be specific. Ask God. Spend time with God. Say, you know, what's the desire of my heart this week? And then put it out there. All right. One little warning about that. I made it my mission a few years ago to manifest like Jesus. All right. Jesus had a need come upon him. Bam, he fulfilled it. You know, somebody needed money for taxes. Bam, there was a fish with a coin. Enough money for both of them. Somebody's been fishing all night. Bam, they got a net full of fish, right? By Jesus's words to them. I wanted to be, because I got Jesus in me, I got the God in me, I wanted to have the ability to tap into the ability to manifest like Jesus. And so what happened is, as I started to learn more and more about how to do that, you know, have the gap be shorter between the desire and the fulfillment of the desire, it started way out. Sometimes it would take years for me. Sometimes, and then it would take like months. I started getting to the point where it started being in the same day.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Until this whole thing with Jean started happening. Then all of a sudden, like, I'm not manifesting anything. What is going on? And that's how I know that my negative energy started accumulating, getting in the way between me and abundance. It's coming back now. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Lord. It's coming back now, you know? And now I have even more appreciation because I had that period of time where it was terrible, just terrible, you know? So don't get discouraged. That's what I want you to know. Don't get discouraged. Be patient with yourself. And whatever you do, keep loving on yourself. Speaking love messages to yourself. Don't hate on yourself. Don't criticize yourself, you know, except when you're tapping. You can do it when you're tapping. All right? Because then you're saying, I want to be free. I want a different way. I want to think differently, but I got to first acknowledge the negative that I'm feeling. All right, everybody got that clear?
Yes.
Well
Yes.
understood? Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Everybody give me one takeaway from today before you're off the hook here. Oh my gosh. Hang on a second. I'm sorry. Just got an emergency question here. Giving you time to think about it, so. Okay. Anybody go? Tell me. Take away.
Get clear on my numbers.
Oh, okay. Good. Good. That will help you with your desire.
Absolutely.
Carrie?
Mine is to still journal daily and just log.
Do your tracking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just get back to my usual schedule.
And Carrie, I just pray energy for you.
Yeah, I'm just a little out of it.
Energy, healing, and this is a lot today and for showing up, and whatever you can get out of it, fine, you know, but I just want it to be no work for you, and I just want God to just like shower you with blessings, with rest, with feeling loved. That's what I want for you, and to just blowing you kisses.
Thank you, Marianne.
I second that.
Amen.
Thank you.
How about you, Nicole?
clearing away, doing the tapping and clearing away some of the negative vibrations, the negative energy and vibration is very important.
Mm-hmm.
It's more efficacious to do that, and then to use affirmations. Otherwise, I'm in a battle with like good and evil.
That's
But if I
good.
first, I don't have to be in the. It's like who was it? The angel said, "Who was the praying?" And he said, "I heard your prayers from day one, but we were delayed by the enemy."
That's Daniel, right?
Yeah, from the day one we heard your prayers, but bro, we were in a struggle, a battle. So I cannot be in so much of a battle by first getting into the tapping and letting
Mm-hmm.
stuff go, and then just feeling my mind and my body, with the vibration of what the truth is of who I am and what God says I am, and having what He says I can have, and then creation is there.
There you go. There you go. I think she's got it. I think she's got it. All right. Love you all. Talk to you later.
Thank you, Marianne.
You're welcome.
Feel better, Carrie. Bye.
Yeah.